gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow, give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow, give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. With slow, give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow, give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow, give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow, give it up, gonna be alright.
How's it going, everyone? Great to have you here, and welcome. Oh, oops. Sorry. I've well, quite frankly, exposed myself. Just a little there. That's not what you want to start the stream off at all. If I look like I've just woken up, it's because I have at 2 in the afternoon. Let me give you guys a little bit of insight, a little bit of access into basically the way that my life is played out. I finished streaming yesterday. Edited 2 shorts. That took me about 4 or 5 hours. Edited another thing for uni. That took me like another 2 hours. Did a couple of other miscellaneous tasks. Went to sleep at like 6 in the morning. Woke up at midday today to post some things. And then went back to bed. And then woke up like half an hour ago and was like, oh God, I cannot. When I look at the games that we have on today, quite frankly, I cannot be asked to stream them when it is literally... Okay, that's not loaded. These 2 teams. Anyway, I'm going to mute myself throughout this. Enjoy. Alright, well, short and sweet. I like it. Yeah, some people woke up before I went to bed. Yeah. Well, frankly, today have about 7 different things that I need to do after this stream. One of which includes making a video, which is it feels like it will take quite a long time. But I'm gonna put in like an absolutely biblical effort and then go to bed. Although, oh my God, I've got to record with Zero Tackle at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Did not realize that. Who do you reckon will win? Knights. Knights have like substantially more on the line. If we are honest with ourselves, they are sitting just inside the top 8, but they are only 2 wins off the Dolphins. Now, I know there's going to be only 3 weeks left after this. Well, if they win this, there'll be only 1 win off the Dolphins. So, Dolphins have yet to play Roosters. Like, you know, there's top 4, a very outside chance, still on the line here. By the way, I'm aware that Pepsi Max sips were redeemed. There's the kickoff. If you want to sync up with me, they're underway up there in the Hunter. Newcastle playing in their Indigenous jersey. Who the hell? Why is Fletcher Sharp cut his wonderful mullet? What are we doing? Fletcher! Okay, well, this feels like an oversight because obviously his power was derived from it. We've seen it flowing. We've seen it flying in the wind. As they drop the ball there, it's going to be a Newcastle penalty. I have been baited by this Gold Coast jersey yet again, by the way. Yet again. I was like, hang on, we watched the Cowboys yesterday, didn't we? They really do look like the Cowboys. Can't watch the Tigers right now? Why can't you watch the Tigers right now? Hypothetical question. Can the text-to-speech for change background color read any language other than English? Asking for a friend. Well, I guess we're about to find out. Aren't we? I know that it has read Afrikaans. I don't know if it can read Arabic. If that is your question. But we'll find out, won't we? Alright. So Ponga, they're hitting it up. Newcastle with a good early opportunity here. 20 metres out. This is going to be the 4th. Fletcher Hunt does find Sharp. Now on for Crossland. Crabby across field. Sanders Smith with it. Deep into the line. Gets to take our guy. Now Dominic Young at the end of the play. Just with a head up. Nothing really doing it. They good sliding defense there from the Gold Coast Titans. So they are still alive here on the last. Sanders Smith puts boot to ball. Underneath it, it's Manu Leilua. In fact, Hunt goes up for it. Hunt comes down with it. Early try. It's going to go up as no try, though. Going up, no try from Liam Kennedy here. Wow, I really do look like I've just woken up. I mean, I thought I might be able to hide it. But I was up half an hour ago. How do text-to-speech? Cosmic, it's by redeeming channel point things. Now, I don't actually know how to do that, as I've never been on the user side of the setup. But I know other people can do it. They might be able to explain it to you. No try. Penalty for pushing. So, Oh, Gold Coast penalty. My joke is not being read out. I'm depressed. I'm so sorry. Please do send it again. And I will happily read it. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I can see it now. His joke was, and he obviously wanted me to stop, you know, the whole momentum of the stream to read this. I don't know what that is, but it isn't Fletcher Sharp. Nah, bro. That's Fletcher Dull.
This is superhuman. This is unbelievable.
How good? How good is that? By the way, I have a new soundbite that I put in yesterday. I sort of just came across this while editing. It's nothing special, but it's another line that I have said, and it's going to make it easier for me to not say words. It is this. No. 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 As Newcastle get a penalty there, it's quite penalty happy so far. I am so sorry. You're about to say that again. 3 times. I realized that the volume on my computer was really, really low. And that was why I couldn't hear anything. My mistake. My mistake. Now I could actually hear the sound bites. One more time. No. I like that. Play the soundbite again? Well, there we go. No. 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 Alright. Yeah, let me know how the Tigers goals are going, by the way. I'm curious. Newcastle's jersey, it looks... I don't know, maybe it's the lighter blue and then the red. It looks like a shop uniform to me. That looks like a shop uniform. There's a shop in the UK called Argos, which none of you would be familiar with, unless you're from the UK. To me, it reminds me of Argos. Daddy says Lily Rogan is so tough. Look, as we know, I'm a Tanika Todd Hunter enthusiast. I'm also a Caitlin Owen enthusiast. But Lily Rogan, noted former Rooster, very good at what she does. So Ponga with it on the 4th. They're throwing the ball around very, very nicely. Played here by Jermaine McEwen. They're going to go the short side. They're going to back themselves. Gagai does put it through. The chase is there. And the chase is from the kicker. Dan Gagai, they won't take that one off them unless the grounding. I wasn't completely sure about it, but I do trust him. And that's what they're doing so far to start this game. They've crossed the line twice within the opening 5 minutes. Damn. Bro shaking the Pepsi like he's going to go gym after this. That is the last thing I'm going to do after this stream. Not only could I comfortably just go to sleep right now and sleep for another 5 hours. Easy. I'll read out the thing. Now that we've got a break and play, I'll read out the things that I need to do after this stream. Because there's just not a chance I'm getting them all done. There's just not a chance. And I've already posted some things until tomorrow. I don't believe for a second that that is the real Caitlin Owen. Not a chance. Saying, I saw your reel about me. Wasn't a reel about Caitlin Owen, in fairness, but sure. Okay, here's what I have to do after this. I need to write out a list of all of the events that are happening in my building across this next week. That will be before about 8 p.m., so I don't really have a lot of time after this stream. Anyway, I then need to do a law submission. I need to do a reading and then write a 200-word reflection on something for international human rights law. I then need to do a 45-minute online assessment for a graduate program that I'm applying to. I then need to do a post about the Roosters NRL and NRLW teams being at the top of the table. I then need to do the video on basically going through the last 3 rounds of the season, including writing, making the graphics, making the thumbnail, and editing it. And then at 9:30 tomorrow, I have an appearance on zerotackle.com. I really wish I hadn't said yes to that. Anyway, no, we're good. We're so good. We're so good. Human rights, what is this utter work nonsense? Simply the course that was most easy to pass. So, yeah. Basically. Not that I care about it, obviously. I'm not that woke. Kickoff again by the Gold Coast Titans. So really, to be honest, like, it feels a bit like yesterday's game between Warriors and Broncos, where I feel that the Titans are just here today in order to play their part. In order to be the side that Newcastle get to make their statement against. Really? That's the way that I see this one? Is it unfair? Maybe. Maybe not. Rogan has a double? Hell yeah. Big up Lily Rogues. Big up... any relation to Joe, do you think? At all, or... C Phantom says, I feel our bet's going to go down to the wire. I don't. I've pretty much accepted. Because for those who don't know, me and C Phantom have a bet from the preseason about whether the Cowboys were going to make the 8 or not. Cowboys currently sitting 12 wins, 10 losses. I think it's going to be enough. I really do think that's going to be enough. What a run there for Jermaine McEwen. On the 4th as well. Crossland finds Sanders Smith, puts boot to ball. I like saying that now, I've decided. Hunt taps it back. They've still got it here, Newcastle. Out wide, they're going to score a wonderful try through Craig Marju. This is Harlem Globetrotter stuff, and they're over for the 3rd time now within 7.5 minutes. So they're going to be their 2nd try, but they love it up there. Okay, here's the Pepsi Max. So yeah, Cowboys, I think if you get to 13 wins, you'll be okay. Because Bulldogs in 9th have a negative record. There's 2, yeah, Cowboys are going to be fine. So, remind me of the terms of this, Sea Phantom. Because I thought I negotiated it down to being anime girl with green hair poking out behind my logo. That was my memory. I may be completely wrong, but that was my memory. So I'm curious. A second row's pairing of McEwen and Manu Leleua are feeding families. Yes, they are. And you got to remember, last year, it was Dylan Lucas and Kai Pearce-Paul. Obviously, Lucas still at the club but injured. So that is a significant amount of change in that department. Really cool. Lily says, Reese does in fact have a syndesmosis thing, but he does not need a screw. A screw in his ankle, that is not what you were thinking about, evidently, given the reel that I posted earlier today. We did negotiate it. It was going to be an anime girl wearing green with green hair and a Leaguie badge photoshopped onto her clothes like a police badge. Okay, well, that's going to take me some time, but I'll do it. Sanders Smith, and it's off the uprights. 10 points to nil it remains. Australia have been bowled out for 284, and Bangladesh need 67 runs to win. Well, that's going to happen. Jesus. Money God said, apparently Dragons can evade the spoon if they win every remaining game this season, and Broncos lose every game. Yes. Obviously, that's going to have to start in about an hour and a half's time. So... KPP and Samuela were both on crazy form before both getting injured. Yeah, for the Tigers, definitely they were. I've loved Samuela Fainu's social media recently. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been reports going around that his management were asking for $1.2 million per season. And on every single post where that story has been mentioned, he has just commented a cap emoji. I love that. Absolutely love that. Here's the thing, right? And this annoys me because I think the fans deserve better. Where's the accountability for these journalists for constantly getting it wrong? They can't get anything right. You know how much money they're on? They're paid so much. They cannot get it right. And, you know, we invest in all of these institutions, the mainstream media, you know, the amount of money that goes to the broadcast deal, and still they can't get it right. Still they can't get it right. It's not good enough. And I'm going to abuse them verbally online for it. Analogies. Anyway. 6 more there for Newcastle. It's all going their way. They really just do feel like the main characters of this game. Have Gold Coast had possession? I don't feel like they've had possession. I don't think I've really commentated them with the ball yet. They'll get it here because Mooney has come up with an error. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
C_Phantom just redeemed, change the background color.
Here we go. The answer is no. Well, what color would you like? Cosmic says press smashing. This guy gets it. This guy gets it. Nelson says, first live stream I managed to catch. I'm from Melbourne and a lifelong AFL fan, but just started watching you last year. Now I'm a moderate NRL fan thanks to you. Rabid fan by Melbourne standards. Well, thank you for, being bold enough and brave enough to admit that you're an AFL fan. Nobody's perfect. It's very nice of you to be vulnerable in a community like this. I want you to know that you're very, very welcome. But no, I'm really glad. In all sincerity, one of my big goals when I started this YouTube channel was to try and get people who might one day be interested in rugby league into rugby league through my content. And I'm glad that I was able to do that, at least a little bit with you. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. C Fanta says, in English, that message was, whichever color is your least favorite. What would my least favorite color be? Probably a bit of yellow. Not a big yellow enthusiast anymore. Good song by Coldplay, though. Very good song by Coldplay. But generally speaking, ain't it? It looks washed out. Anyway, on the fourth here, Tina Faso Malawi. It's not Tina Faso Malawi. Who is? No, it is Tina Faso Malawi. He's got maybe shaved facial hair. For a moment, I was like, is that Cletus? Dominic Young with a solid catch there over Phil Sami, who is a fundamentally very solid winger in his final few games for the Gold Coast Titans. He's played there, to my knowledge, his entire career. So an emotional time for Filthy Phil Sami, as they say. Lorenzo says, my STEM teacher is an AFL fan. I think he goes for the Western Collywood Suburbs Magpies. Too bad I have to change schools now. Yeah, that's a hell of a mix of an old New South Wales Rugby League team and an AFL team. Young is through. And I tell you what, he didn't really show a clean set of heels there. Ollie Pascoe had him covered, so he did have to stop on about the 40, plays it. They're going to try spreading it to the other side, you would think here. In fact, Pogga just kicks into space. The chase isn't really there meaningfully. Keeney does get it. Does well not to come up with an error. Good result there, Newcastle. Very good result. Excuse me. Yeah, I read that out, Money got about Broncos still being able to get the spoon. Very, very funny. Premier's spoon would be a hell of a fall off, and I would well and truly be there for it. Well and truly be there for it. So what's the score now, Tiger? So Tino hits it up. This is going to be the last here for the Titans. They're only going to kick from about 30 out. That's a good kick for Jaden Campbell. That's a very good kick. It found ground as well and sits up. So that was perfect there from Jaden Campbell. Brilliant halfback's kick. Although he'd be playing 5'8" today because of Zane Harrison, of course. No, Lachlan Ilias. Did Harrison get injured? I must have missed that because I didn't watch that game last week. So, oh my God, that's a name. Sorry, I do apologize for just getting us massively off topic here. But what? That's a name. Bodie Sharpley. Okay. Well, he's coming off the bench today. That's interesting. Newcastle with an error. So Titans full set here on the Newcastle Knights line. So they've got their first genuine opportunity of this game. Pascoe finds Randall. The former Newcastle Knight, same with both Fermor, though Fermor never played first grade at Newey. Pascoe goes himself nearly about a metre shy. Short ball, Mo Fotuaika. Can't quite get to the line. Where's my girl, Caitlin Owen? You should have been watching at the start of the stream. Ball goes out now to find, I'm going to say that is Jalen de Groot. Yes, it is. My Dutch King. My Dutch King. I had a dream last night that I was back in the Netherlands. It was a very weird dream. Most of the details of which I cannot divulge on this broadcast. But I was back in the Netherlands. Pascoe finds Campbell, who... Did he know it was the last? Because he definitely didn't play like it. That was really tame from Jaden Campbell there. Really tame. Not really sure what was doing there. Emery says, will Newcastle win the grand final? Very unlikely, but not impossible. Not impossible. if Broncos want to avoid the spoon, why don't they give Caitlin Owen more ball? That's the thing. Early ball Caitlin Owen, I think, is really the way that they would achieve success. I mean, in my opinion, you take a look at that face. If that was running towards me off a kick return, I'm with all due respect to her, I'm running in the other direction. I don't want a bar of it. So I think that makes a lot of sense as a strategy. Dane Gagai hits it up to the 40. And they get a penalty on the 4th. Yeah. The discipline. Leaguie, how dare you? How dare you run away? That's a compliment. That's what you want. They're playing, they're playing a remix version of Long Train Runner by the Doobie Brothers. There is little in this world that I dislike more than remix versions of perfectly good old songs that just make the song worse. And this is one of them. Yeah, sorry, it puts me off. I don't like it. Cosmic says, League, no, I reckon Amber Hall's got her covered. On God, really? Like, physically speaking, you reckon Amber Hall has got Caitlin Owen covered? I don't. I definitely don't. Not a chance. Ponga finds Fletcher Hutt. He plays it there. Greg Marju in at dummy half to find Kalen Ponga. Across to find Crossland now. They are really linking up beautifully. Mario, that's huge.
Gold Coast Titans Rugby League Football Club continues to confuse myself along with the general public with their constant and continuous poor management. They're not even a merger club, at least they have half an excuse.
Mario 18661 continues to confuse myself along with the general public with his constant and continuous extreme generosity. As Newcastle going to try. To answer your question, though, yeah, it's baffling, and I don't have the answer, of course. I see them go through the exact same cycle every year where they are terrible to start the season. They seem to cobble it together, have an okay run of results. Coming into next year, there'll be a signing or two, and you're like, okay, maybe that's what they need to get them to actually become competent, and then they just never do. They are the perennial losers of the league. And I know that we talk about the Tigers, I know that we talk about the Dragons, but I think those clubs have hope. I think those clubs have a vision. The Titans, what are they ever going to achieve? So I don't know. Anyway, Knights might put 70 on them. They might, the way that's currently going, yeah. Seafader says, but you're scared of women, so wouldn't you run away from Caitlin Owen regardless? Yeah, but I'd want to go particularly quickly. Also, unfortunately, Sea Phantom, I'm going to have to time you out for saying that because you spelt Caitlin with a Y, whereas it's spelt with 2 I's. So, yeah. You can't mistype the name of our goat in this chat. I understand you weren't here yesterday. Maybe, you don't understand the religious significance, but we're not tolerating that anymore. Legman opinions on the new Pepsi bottles. I don't care. But it's weird they're doing an entire advertising campaign. New bottles, same great taste. Like, did anyone think that the different bottle shape was going to mean a different taste? Why? 16 plays 0. And we can finally go back to the green background as well. I wonder if a user is timed out whether they can redeem channel points. Cosmic says, my goat is Amber Hall. I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their religious beliefs. Sure, we're very tolerant as a community. But you're coming into a very specific group here. You're coming into a very specific group of Caitlin Owen enthusiasts. So, showing, a different line of thinking. Let's just not push the envelope here is all I'm saying. Seafactor says, I truly am sorry for misspelling her name. Although, I can't hear Seafactor saying that because he's timed out. And Ghost can't talk. So, yeah. The Caitlin Owen says, I appreciate the amount of support your community has for me, except that one guy who got my name wrong. I want to know which member of the community Caitlin Owen is. Because it's committed. Very committed. I'm trying to figure out who stopped typing before and is typing now. Jeez, another penalty to find the Newcastle Knights here. Cosmic says it's me. Maybe. Maybe. Just put the game on. Newie's jersey is unique. I don't know if I like it or hate it. I do not like it. I said this earlier. It could be the lighter blue. It could be just the two clear blocks, but it looks to me like a shop uniform. And not a good shop either. Like, you know, just your stock standard Kmart style shop. That's what it looks like. So. Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing. Okay,
Money God 164 yet just redeemed changed the background color. Red as we are the mighty Dolphins and Roosters are gonna fall and we will have control over the top 4 and dictate it.
And then you'll wake up. Because that is... You're going to be fortunate to make the top 4. Control over the top 4 is crazy talk. Absolutely crazy talk. Insane. It's like a Spider-Man outfit. Yes, that's also very, very true. It is like a Spider-Man outfit. It is a lot like a Spider-Man outfit. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan, anyway. So, played there by Hotwood. Crossland, nice bit of deception out of dummy half. Straight to find Trey Mooney. Back up through the middle. 2 more tackles to go here for Newcastle. They've been scoring at a rate of knots. Based on that, you might expect them to score here. Gagai has already got 2. Sanders Smith finds Jermaine McEwen, who just takes a head up himself. So, one more to go here in this set. 10 meters out are the Newcastle Knights. Looks like a rip-off Spider-Man outfit from Temu. Basically, yeah. Sanders Smith to fight Kalaponga over the top. The pass was just overrun. Still alive here. Maju, former Titan, does kick through himself. It's weighted beautifully. Oh, he nearly got there, Greg Maju. Very nearly got there. Damn. It's going to be a HI for Josh Paxton, I think. Yep. Temu, it's Temu, bro. No, it's not. You're wrong. 1E, not Temu. Also, because I've seen the ads. You know the ads that are in Mandarin, and they call it Temu. So it is Temu. Thank you for the score update, Tiger Walker. Do keep me updated. I've got some bad news, unfortunately, to share with you guys at halftime, by the way. So stay tuned for that. You're not going to be very pleased about it, but anyway. Are you Mandarin? No, but I think it's important to pronounce things the proper way. For instance, I am not Tongan. And yet, I think it's important that I don't say Ola Kalatu. Pepsi's better than Fanta, in my opinion. Now, this is why we get around you, Caitlin Owen. This is why we get around you. So it's a HIA Category 1 for Patson. So bad to worse for the Gold Coast Titans. He won't be coming back. Okay. Fotueka. This is the last. Keeney with it. Scheming. Gets the ball out to Jojo Fafita. It's been trapped. And Fletcher Hutt does very well to stay in the field of play. Very, very well to stay in the field of play. Plays it to Fletcher Sharp. This is probably the toughest work that Newcastle have really had to do all game here. In terms of possession. Where does the second L come from? Cooper Cronk. I don't know. You're going to have to ask Cooper Cronk because that's the way he says it. All right. Gagai. Oh, he nearly lost that one there. But still holding the ball. It's kind of amazing that he's going on and playing next season. Brisbane of all places. Brisbane of all places. Anyway. Hotwood is going to play it here. Crossland at a dummy half will put a kick in himself. It's from inside the 40. It's angled well and truly for a 40-20. Akini, he was about half a meter away from sliding into the touchline. That was a really good kick from Phoenix Crossland. Every single time that I see the Dolphins play, I'm like, yeah, Jeremy Marshall-King should be the hooker for New Zealand. Then I watch Newcastle play and I'm like, yeah, Phoenix Crossland should be the hooker for New Zealand. I just go back and forth constantly on the two. Sami hits it up. Tackled by Francis Manu Leleua. Broncos are going to reactivate Origin level Gagai. You reckon just because the Broncos jersey is maroon, that's going to be enough? You reckon the same might be true if he signed for Manly? All right, Cooper Bai is out there on the field, which is painfully obvious because he's wearing the fluorescent green headgear. Campbell puts it high up on the last. It's going to be Dominic Young underneath it, who does have to get on his bike to get back and catch it, but comes away with it. So, Newcastle haven't gone on with this the way that you would maybe have expected them to once they got their third try. It's been more of a physical battle, but that is infinitely more useful to them at this point in the season. A 16-0 lead is commanding. They would love to get out to that lead and then get into a physical battle and just practice that. Because that's what finals is going to be like. They're not going to be able to roll teams in the finals. It's actually good for them. I think they'd be very happy with this game ending 16-0. So, kick there from Kalen Ponga. Maybe didn't have the length on it that he might have wanted. And Keeney does get it on the full. We'll take it up to about the 40. Yeah, that was maybe not the kick that Kalen Ponga was after, I think. Jack says you'd appreciate this, Leaguie. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Steady on. I'm not going to be dictated as to what I would appreciate and what I wouldn't appreciate, but all right. Let's hear you. I just seemed a year in Rugby League Live 3 and Jack Buchanan just won a Clive. Okay. Well, I mean, I was sold a big dream there. I was sold a big dream. The confident assertion that I would appreciate it. And I've got to say, having actually read through it, I will admit there is not much more in the world that I would appreciate more than someone simming a Rugby League Live 3 season and Jack Buchanan winning a Clive. I mean, wow. For those who didn't watch the West Tigers career mode that we did on LeaguieGames earlier this year, I don't blame you. There was not that much to it. But Jack Buchanan was certainly the GOAT of that career mode, so love it. Legman, what's the sad news? I want to know. So, yeah, when I said that I would tell you at halftime, I wasn't lying. Was not lying. Yeah, Scratchy, I saw the email you sent me. It was a verification code to log into NRL.com, so I wasn't really sure what that was about, if I'm honest with you. I did reply, so... Lily, I'm a big fan of your name. I think that's very amusing. Your new name. Another penalty, but not just another penalty to Newcastle. It's on the 4th. It keeps coming late in tackle counts. Late in tackle counts, which is just, it's killer. Absolutely killer there for the Gold Coast Titans. The discipline. Maybe it's not such a surprise that at this end of the season, they are where they are. Sorry, I got a notification on my phone. I opened it up and I'm just seeing this. Focus. He's not focusing. But it says, Daniel Tupou set to stay with Roosters until end of 2027 season. Well, boy, oh boy, that makes me pleased. That sure does make me very, very pleased. C Factor says, I've been converted to the Church of Caitlin Owen. Good stuff. Welcome aboard, brother. It's wonderful over here. Run there from Jermaine McEwen. On the 3rd, 12 minutes, 30 seconds left in this first half. Sander Smith finds Kelaponga. They're looking good here. Sharp, short ball. Manu Leleua. Can't quite get there. Matt Russell is putting in one too many L's in his name, which is kind of okay because I used to do that as well. Have they got over here through Fletcher Hunt? He's not claiming it. It's going to go upstairs as a no try. Lorenzo says, welcome to Caitlin Owenism. I like Caitlin Owenism. I think that's a good name for it. By the way, Did do a bit of field research yesterday, as you do. Oh, I see maybe got there. There's a boot in the way. Can confirm, because there are a few people being weird about it, Caitlin Owen is in a loving relationship. Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to establish that. If Caitlin Owen's boyfriend is watching, it's not like that, okay? You just got to understand the meme. You got to understand the meme. You got to commit to the bit. That's what it's about. That is a hell of a view of Fletcher Hunt. Anyway, they've still got one tackle left here. Yeah, again, Scratchy, I have seen your email. I replied to your email. It was a verification code to log into NFL.com. I was quite confused. Underneath it, and that catch is really easy for Volsami in the in goal. The kick was poor, unfortunately. That's a let-off there for the Gold Coast Titans. Unfortunate. We'll play it here on the 0, above the 30. Fomore hitting it up. So that's when we talk about the physical battle that Newcastle want to get into and will be getting into, you would hope, in the finals games. That's the kind of thing they can't really afford to do. So, yeah. Legman, did you hear back from the bank? No, nor will I for a while. So, I'm just applying to a lot of graduate programs, by the way, not just banks. So, yeah. Okay, Campbell finds Cooper by. Big old tackle there. And Frizzell praises Francis Manu Leleua. He's becoming a very, very quick fan favorite up there in the Hunter. Back from Jojo Fafita. Campbell with it on the last. And once again, Jaden Campbell takes the tackle on the last.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed, changed the background color. Unibinaf Sharanga Oesgata, Olga, Boron.
What? And then it says purple. So that was definitely not purple. That whatever that was, that just does not translate to purple. That does not translate to purple. A reminder, please, people. The text-to-speech does exist for you to say the color you want the background to be, not to write essays. Please. Then anyway. Run there from Jermaine McEwen. He will take a tackle there. 40 out from his own line. Exactly 10 to go in this first half. Crossler gets it to find Sanders Smith. Such responsibility on Sanders Smith's shoulders at this back end of the season with no Dylan Brown. But it's the kind of responsibility he came to Newcastle to try and get. So, you know, folks, I've seen some usernames in my chat over the years. And there's certain combinations of words that you don't necessarily expect to see. And one that I certainly didn't expect to see when I woke up this morning was, quote, Lebanese Tanner Shower Smith. Although it's actually not. It's Tanner Shower Smith. There's a lot wrong with that. And they say snack pack order. Don't you just order a HSP? Is there much more to it? Keeney knocks on. Ponga picks it up. Can he get away here? He can just about stop the important amount, though, that allowed the Gold Coast Titans defenders to come across and stop him. Forced backwards there. Second effort. Pasco again pushes. Lucky not to give away a professional foul there as Marju immediately knocks it on. What year were you born and what were you studying right now? Do you want to know my credit card details as well, maybe? The funky numbers at the back of my my card. No, I was born in 2002. I'm studying law and economics. Oh wait, Steve Handsome lost his mod chip. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'll give you mod chip back. It's always... Oh no, apparently you do have mod chip. That's weird. I timed you out though. I don't know. Well, whatever. It's fine. Tackle there, Jojo Fafita. 8 minutes left in this first half. Gold Coast, I mean, if we're talking about them, actually having an opportunity to win this game, they'd love a try before halftime. They'd love 16-6. So, yeah. Seafater says, you don't get to choose what's on the HSP. The kebab man chooses for you. That's the thing. You just order one. You order one. Campbell hitting it up here. So they've got 3 tackles to go inside Newcastle's 10. They're looking good here. Brimson, beautiful short pass. Bo Fermor is in. Ponga over the top. Fermor wasn't happy about it. I wonder if they're going to have a look at that, potentially. That was beautiful. The kickoff kitchen says, can you be my lawyer, Leaguie? In, like, just over a year, maybe. Because I need to do legal training as well. If you don't understand the nuance and science behind a snack pack, you can never ascend up to the heavens of chips and meat. You need to have flavors that complement and differ. You need enlightenment. I have enlightenment. Thank you very much. And I've given everyone enlightenment for a number of reasons. Why is the background purple? I forgot. Oh, yeah. No, that was 4 minutes ago. Anyway. Enlightenment has been achieved through the wonders of my soundboard. If you weren't here before, you wouldn't have experienced this. And so I'm going to allow you to experience it now. On our realization a couple of days ago that I can play any sounds on my soundboard simultaneously as often as I like. So, the infamous Fafita sound, notably, was one of them. Goal there from Jane Campbell. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. Have a listen to this. No. Run from Cleese. There is a Fafita in this game, by the way.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Whoa.
Morts Rugby League just redeemed speed dealer Sunnies.
It's been quite some time since I whipped these bad boys out. Thank you, Mort.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed
Add
a thing.
another.
Morts Rugby League just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
Caitlin Irwin says, is that Michael Ennis? Why are you spamming Michael Ennis? I'm spamming Michael Ennis because it's transcendent. It's transcendental. I don't think that's a word, but it was used in The Ballad of Dewey Cox, which is a movie that seems funny. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Righto. I'm turning the brightness up on my screen so I can actually see things. Well, is it? No, it doesn't really impact the light on my screen. Face. That sounded like Roach? It did sound a little bit like Roach. Alright, run from Greggy Marju. 5 minutes left in the first half. Newcastle will be okay, I think, with this. They'll consider it a pass mark, 16-6 at halftime, but they'll be a bit disappointed given that they got up to 16 points, within about 18 minutes, if that. That the next 20 minutes, yeah, in fact, in the 17th minute they scored. They didn't come up with anything after that. Although they might here, no. Ball finds the ground. Danger here, Keeney hitting it back up. Nearly got an offload to the referee there. That's very strong wording, Lorenzo. Saying you hate Jess Yates. Bit harsh. What is all that? Such a Jackets fan. We have Daniel Atkinson on the wing. Center to the dog on the bench. Oh wait, just actually, sorry, you're just saying team list. It sounded like lyrics of a song. Why have you done that? Setutu was so good last week, and you bench him for Daniel Atkinson. What? Campbell's gonna score. This game is actually like really on. This is no longer acceptable for the Knights. Damn. No longer acceptable here, in my opinion, for Newey, because I spoke about the grind they wanted to get into. I said that they'd be happy if they won this game 16 points to nil. Instead, it's going to be 16-12 at halftime. If that, could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Yeah, Money God, I've spoken about DC to Hull FC a lot. I don't really have any thoughts on it. Older player going to the Super League. Not the most surprising thing. Lorenzo says Newcastle Knights are selling right now. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Dean Young commentated it's tactical, whatever the hell that means. Is right about Jacob Little starting in place for Damien Cook. I expect it might be tactical in terms of prepping for next season. Where obviously there's more players than spots in the Dragons backline next year, and he wants to know if Atkinson is maybe going to go okay in a wing spot. But yeah. We got enough bots for now. Kickoff Kitchen, but I appreciate your interest. Titans comeback? Absolutely could. Absolutely could. Campbell hits it. Starts at wide, and it's not going to come back. So 16 points to 10, it remains. Thoughts on me switching my allegiance from South to the Bears aside from WA? Every time someone makes the decision not to support the South Sydney Rabbitohs, the world becomes a slightly better place. So I would support that decision wholeheartedly and with every fibre of my being. Where do you think Manly sit next year? Probably that sort of 10 to 14 region. Catcher and Jalen DeGroat on to Tino, who does hit it up hard on the kick return there.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Okay.
It's _ Hasman just redeemed. Change the background color. Unamati nami sono old soto obella chow bella chow 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 red.
Well, normally I'd be like, there's a fair bit of mayo on that for just, the word red. But I'm going to forgive it because it's Bella Ciao, which is an absolute banger of a song. And anyone who is familiar with World War II history and or has seen Money Heist, aka La Casa de Papel, will agree. I suspect that that's a Casa de Papel reference because red's a very iconic color in that series. Not that the text-to-speech really had the beat of it, though, so to grow about a meter from the touchline here. A minute and a half left. 5 tackles gone. They're 25 meters out from the try line. Ilias back inside to find Curtis Morin, who's going to put boot to ball. I think that's knocked back by Ponga. No, the rule is knock on. Gold Coast will have a full set here on the Newcastle Knights line to level us up at halftime. That was horrible for text-to-speech. It was. Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Yeah, I don't know the rest of it, to tell you the truth. But anyway, that's what it should have sounded like. So Gold Coast, a minute to go, 1 set to go, 10 meters to go. Campbell finds Brimson. He'll get over immediately. He won't get to ground. No, it's ruled a try, is it? No, it's ruled a penalty. Sorry, it's ruled a penalty. I heard a really big long whistle, and that's typically a try, but it also could be a penalty. They're going to repack the scrum. How does South fans afford membership? Centrelink pays decently well. I would know. I'm actually on it. Thoughts on Roosters winning the NRLW minor premiership? Fade to complete, bro. How much time left? 25 seconds left of the first half. All right, Pascoe finds Campbell, who himself nearly gets there. Only 20 seconds left now. They won't have time for a full set. Cooper Byatt gonna hit it up. Not gonna get there though. Might only have 1 play left here as the timer ticks down. Pascoe. Ball finds the ground. This will, you'd think, be the last one. No, they are going to squeeze in one more, but they've lost about 10 meters there on that play. Sami Find Campbell, who should put boot to ball. He won't do so. Fotueka, Fasil Malawi is just going to hit it up. Is he going to get an offload away? He does try to eventually, but no. Are you a rugby fan or a League fan? League fan. I'm not the rugby game, mate. Not the rugby game. All right. Well, that was an experience, for sure. Very much a half of two halves. It was all Newcastle early on. We were talking about them potentially scoring 70 of the Lord's finest rugby league points, and then that happens. But anyway, yeah. Bad news time? Yes. It is bad news time. I'll give you the bad news. And this was, I want you to know, like, probably tougher for me to take than it will be for you to take, so I wouldn't worry too much about it if I was you. As Lorenzo uses his refollow. So, as you do, I was researching our GOAT. Caitlin Owen. And I, in doing so, Googled the name Caitlin Owen. And according to Google, the classification is Caitlin Owen, rugby union player. And that made me feel cheated, disappointed, and frankly devastated that our glorious Caitlin Owen would be subjected to such a derogatory label as that. I wasn't happy. I wasn't pleased. And I was mentally quite broken. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what we can do about it. It's so sad. Tiger says I might die, and I don't want to encourage you to do it, but I also think that might be the only appropriate response to this situation. So if you're going to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Caitlin Owen says, yes, I used to play union, so that makes sense. Used to. Not currently does. Used to. Tiger says put on the NRLW. I will put on the NRLW. I have a little watch of the NRLW over the next 10 minutes or so. Cosmic says I've decided to spontaneously combust. Again, I look, not something I'll actively encourage, but I do think that it's probably the only appropriate response. The only, I think, thing I can really do in a trying time such as this is probably try and once again throw defecation at a wall until it sticks by playing this godforsaken 27-0 game. Because, yeah. Jeez, they nearly scored there, the West Tigers. Oh, that's not formatted correctly. Say the Serrano word or I'm leaving. You can leave. That is an ultimatum that I am not going to negotiate with. Alright, I'm going to be reading chat while this is going on, by the way, because this is just completely brainless behavior. I'm just basically picking Jonathan Thurston until I win. Whoa, Caitlin Owen using some very, very rude language against Scratchy there. Why does Scratchy want Caitlin Owen bad? Make sense. I don't know, I can't figure it out. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jayara. I was like, yeah, none of these are good. Jayara's good. I forgot that Jayara's this good. What will the next game be after this? Tigers versus Dragons. One of the games that's ever been played. This is a brilliant start. This is a really brilliant start. They've scored here, the West Tigers. They've scored. Hell yeah. Tigers are good. They are very good. Leaguie bot on your servers working again? Hell yes. I don't remember what that does, if I'm honest, but that sounds like a good thing. So, hell yeah. Who's better, Jonathan Thurston or Seamus Coleman? I've often thought about this myself, obviously, as you do. I don't... when you talk about leadership quality, I think Coleman's got him covered. When you talk about Irish accent, I think Coleman's got him covered. And Coleman, I don't know if you've heard Seamus Coleman's voice before, but he sounds just the most like, monotonous guy. Jonathan Thirst is very much the opposite of that. None of these players are really good. I'm thinking Gutherson on the wing. I don't want to pick Moses. I don't think Sivo's that good in this. Junior Bolo. Might he be better than Guther? Probably not. Yeah, probably was. Roosters 2016. Oh, that was one of the true stinky teams of all time. But Latrell in the centers. Okay. That's good. I forgot about him. Tigers 2010. You telling me we're going to have Thurston and Benji Marshall in the halves? Who would have thunk it? No, I'm gonna. Oh, Richards is really bad. I thought he was gonna be about 85. I was gonna roll the dice. That's not good. Good conversion, Racine McGregor as well. Oh, we can't pick Stephen Crichton, of course. I was like, normally I don't pick kick out here. Yeah, this isn't going great. Titans 2011. They had just come into the competition. Yeah, no, this ain't the one. This ain't the one. I'm surprised the score is what it is, though. Yeah, of course. Newcastle came out to a very early and very comprehensive lead, and then just fell away from it. Harrison Edwards was at the Dogs. I feel like I've learnt that before and then forgotten it immediately. This is just restart territory, to be honest. There is nothing going on here. There's absolutely nothing going on here. I don't want to pick any of them. It started so well. Cowboys 2026. Okay, Tamalolo. Through there, Shelley Bet. Nice. Are you aware of who Nwankwo Kanu is now? Former West Brom player, you said. From memory. God, even this is a bit grim. I'll see how good SJ is. 89. Johnson's 89? That's higher than I would have expected, personally. And Togs 2020. Jeez, yeah, no, the grim. Just grim. I don't want to pick a fullback. I don't want to pick a spine player. Josh Jackson, yeah. That's actually that's the play, for sure. Hello, Ollie. How you going? Leaguie, who's better, Jared Hayne or Gordon Chang Kantong? Definitely Gordon Chang Kantong. More appearances at hooker, which is typically how I tend to judge players. Might be the worst 27-0 team of all time, by the way. That's like sincerely being gone for. 13 and 11. Sick. We'll go again. Leaguie, I missed the first half because of my great aunt. So, because my great aunt from Newcastle was visiting. Thoughts? So, are we saying that it is a coinkydink? And I say that term scientifically speaking. That the whole first half we had a new user who happened to be called Caitlin Owen. And then Caitlin Owen disappears and Did Leaguie Swear appears. Just throwing that out there as a conspiracy theory. I'm not sure. Hello, Madsen. How you going? He says, I gave a letter to the postman. He put it in his sack. I don't think that is a Beatles lyric. If I've got that correct and it's not a Beatles lyric, that's incredible for myself, by the way. So Georgia the War Dragons 2011 Gaznia Bang. It's a lyric from an Elvis Presley song. The trick question avoided, ladies and gentlemen. The trick question avoided. Panthers 2025 Cleary. This is a very good start. Very, very, very good start. That account sent messages after I joined. Yeah, you can be logged in on multiple pages, that's for sure. Yes, small Melbourne Storm. I was hoping for this.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Did they now?
Pandamelically just redeemed changed the background color. Yellow square emoji, to symbolize the instant sin bin whoever said Caitlin Irwin plays rugby onion deserves.
True. True. I like that. I'm a big fan of that, actually. Bang. What happened to Mrs. Leaguie? Mrs. Leaguie had a bit of a talking to. I was not the most comfortable with that situation. Have you watched Obsession? My wish would be to release Justin Olam from your drawer. That's a niche Leaguie reference. I have not watched Obsession, though. No. Didn't get around to it at the time, unfortunately, but I'm obviously familiar with it. Manly 2013, that was a good side. DC is 89 in this. I don't want to take him, though. I'll take a center or a back rower. I'll take Chop Watmo, 87, solid. Tiger said take GI here. Yeah, I probably should have. There's more good fullbacks than centers, hey. Probably should have. I'm inclined to take Slater when the option is there. Panthers 2024. Okay, well then that's got to be Toto or Yo. You take Yo. Yo should be 90. If there was a talk yesterday about Cameron Murray being 90, Yo should be 90. How the hell is Yo not 90, by the way? That's actually crazy. Titans 2016, Jared Hayne. Okay. This is looking good. Roosters 03. We could have had... If I picked Toto, we could have had Fittler there. Minicello on the wing is good, though. Sharks 2011. I don't know how good Will Chambers... Did I say 2011? 2021? I don't know how good Chambers is, but I'll take Fafita. Bo Furmore when Bo Furless walks in. Now, that is a meme that I can get behind. That is brilliant stuff from yourself. Critter. Some quality spots here still to fill. Para 07. Well, we've already got Hayne. Yeah, Heine was still around. Okay. So we need a 5/8 and a prop. This side has good stuff about it, though. Papali'i will be good enough here. Yeah. And we still got a reroll. Manly 07. So, yeah, none of those guys are the go. Storm 05. You want Storm for, like, any other position. 82. That's a shame. 22 and 2. That's better than I expected that team to go. 23 and 3. You still could have had Fittler. I didn't want him at 5/8. I was going to hold out for a better 5/8. Maybe should have gone with him, but there's more good 5/8s than there are wingers compared to... when you look at the relative ratings, with Minicello was an option there. Panthers 2015. Cleary was there not long after 2015, but obviously not in 2015. I'm going to try and do just a quick one. Where is he? Yo. Should be so much higher than that. That's crazy. So that's 2022. Oh, God. Just never good news when you get the Sharks. It just isn't. How is Yo the same as Fafita, respectfully? Anyway, Fafita's a good player. Roosters 01. Again, could have had Fittler at lock. I'll take Minicello wing. That's fine. Sharks 2022. Again, sick. Wasn't happy the first time. Not happy the second time. I'll go Wade Graham. I don't think he's actually that high rated in this, but 85 here. I've got to go quick. I've got to go very quick. Nathan Harmash, other back row spot. Manly 01. John Hopewadi was okay. None of these guys are really it, unless I'm missing an obvious one. I'm gonna pick where is he? Am I blind? John Hopewadi in the centers. It's not the worst thing in the world. Rabbitohs 2012. Okay, there's some options here. GI, bang. That levels it up. Sharks 07. Gallen. I know they're gonna kick off. I'm gonna plow through here because we're close. 5/8. This is nice. 88 Panthers. Bit less nice, maybe. Yeah, we'll finish it off later. They're gonna get underway. Yeah, Madsen, Greg Alexander's probably the play there, but it's about, in a world of like Nathan Cleary's, in a world of Cooper Cronks, in a world of Andrew Johnson's, in a world of Jonathan Thurston's, are you gonna use a pick on Greg Alexander? There's the kickoff. If you are going to win, if you are going to go unbeaten, are you going to do so with Greg Alexander? Nah. Watson says, I wish I could pay someone to cut out my pattern pieces. My back is angry. Your back? I mean, I don't really know what that process would look like. I wouldn't imagine that it would take much back effort, but evidently it does. Game says Manly won a thing in 01. It was Northern Eagles, right? In a world of true Hutchisons. Noah of ball knowledge. Yeah, that's Blackbird, Madsen. That's Blackbird. Not the Beatles version, the Beyonce version. Which, if you listen to I think it was Beyonce version of Blackbird, they made an error in it. They missed out a beat. They stitched 2 bits together and they missed out a beat. I don't know how the hell that got through. If it was a design choice, it was a terrible design choice. If it wasn't a design choice, how did they make that mistake? Anyway. EB says, Jean Grey using MJ to kiss Peter against her will is messed up. She should not be treated as a hero. I don't think she is treated as a hero, really. Or until the very, very end. Yes, it was very messed up behavior. Donald Trump impression coming back. It was done yesterday. So no Dan Gaga, but Toby Winter comes out to play in this game. And I highlighted him last week. I said he looks like the kind of guy who would have bullied people in high school. Gabe says Jean Grey was misunderstood. I think you've just got a crush on Sadie Sink, but sure. No, that is true. When I'm 64, Madsen. When I'm 64. Legman, thoughts on... Nope. You mentioned that before, and I was like, I'm going to let that one go. That's a timeout for you, Lorenzo. That's a timeout for you. That's weird stuff. Who's winning passive-aggressive little bitch of the year this year? That's a really good question. I don't know. It was Tigers last year, right? For the Galvin situation. Morin, I don't know if he meant to kick that, but he might have come up with a try assist here. If it's not being knocked on by Jojo Fafita, this might be a try. Yeah, and it's going to be awarded. We're about to be level. I mean, there's a bit to look at. Has that been touched by Jojo? I don't think it did. And then he's grounded it. Damn. I once again didn't realize that oh, the swearing. No, that's not a swear word in this sense. Come on. Maybe it is. I don't think that's that bad, though. Yeah, that's a try. Well, I can give Seafancy back his mod shit, but it's weird. Currently I'm only prompted to unmod him, so I can unmod him and remod him. But anyway. Hello, Grand Clock. Good to see you. They're going to still have a look at this. We haven't got try confirmed just yet, but it's going to be 16 apiece. That's kind of incredible. $22.20 kick to come for who? Excuse me. So, less than 5 minutes gone in this second half, and this game is well and truly alive. Concerning signs for Newcastle, once the game got into a little bit of a grind, they fell away. Oh, no, we're going to have a look. Gonna have a look. I didn't see that last angle there. On that angle, I don't think it's touched his elbow. Oh, maybe. It does touch his elbow, yeah. Does it travel forward? I think it travels back off his elbow, but anyway, whatever. Bangladesh just beat Australia there. That didn't take long. That did not take long. God damn. Okay. 22 all. To who? Who's winning? Lily says, Leaguie, who's your favourite viewer with Martin Oinituase as their profile picture? Well, I'm going to do what I do very, very well here, because I've got a lot of vocabulary in my mind, and I'm going to stall for as long as I possibly can in order to come up with an answer to this question, so that somebody else in the chat has the time, has the opportunity to change their profile picture on YouTube, on the Google account. I'm not quite sure how you actually do that, but they'll be able to figure it out, to a photo of Mark Tuase, so that I can indulge in not allowing Lily to have the sort of parasocial approval that she wants to get from me, and instead I can pick a different alternate viewer per chance. That viewer will, you know, upon changing their profile picture, also have to send a chat in the chat, so that I know that they have also changed their profile picture to Martin Tuase. But until they do, unfortunately, that option isn't available to me. So it will be a little bit of a tricky situation for me to kind of navigate. But I am able to do so. I have done so before. I've got a track record. I've been proven in my ability to do it. So I think when the rubber hits the road, when push comes to shove, once we actually do come to these conclusions, and I do have to actually pick someone, although I would express great disappointment that no one as of yet has managed to change their profile picture to a photo of Sydney Roosters winger, Fijian international, former Wallaby, also Italy international with curly hair, Mark Tuase, I'd say that it's probably St. George Dragons fan. All right, on the third there, Francis Manu Leleua does play it. In the hands of Fletcher Sharp now, Ponga out to find Hunts, who's tackled there about a metre away from the touchline there. Shout out Reckless Ollie as well. Just beaten. Just beaten. Ponga stepping around the middle of the field there, plays it. It's going to be McEwen who picks it up, and he mustn't have known it was the last. He mustn't have known. I don't know about that one, but anyway. Steve Anthony just says, at the Leaguie. Yes, what do you want? Oh, I changed my profile picture. Why isn't it registering in chat? I don't know. Maybe Twitch stuff. Maybe Twitch stuff. What is your profile picture of, like before? Favorite viewer whose profile pic is your face zoomed in. I ain't doing this again. It's you. I ain't going through that again. Not a chance. I think it's a brilliant profile picture though, for the username Did Leaguie Swear, because it's like investigating. You know what I mean? It's an old artwork a friend drew for me in high school. That's very nice. That's going to go out on the full. Good work there from Dominic Young. Error from the Titans. Newcastle, I think they need the next try, really, in order to boost their own confidence heading towards the back end of this season. And yeah, there was not much in that, but that's going to help them. Lily says, it's fine, I just changed my profile picture to Rob Toya, who is the best centre in the comp. Feel free. Feel free, Lily. Feel free.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
No way.
Smart guy Yay just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
There you go. 6-1 here for Newey. Oh, wait. I forgot to take the try off. The Gold Coast Titans. Long. 6-1. No, error. Error. Titans ball. Campbell. Across to find Sami. This is not the day
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed
that Newcastle thought they were going to have.
C_Phantom just redeemed change the background color. Yellow line in memoriam of Lorenzo. Yellow square emoji. Yellow square emoji. Yellow square emoji.
Yellow square emojis. It is. There's a knock on from the Titans. Knights ball. Mark is now zoomed in. Not very well, though. I like that. Challenge here coming from the Gold Coast Titans. It's Jojo Fafita who puts it in. Yeah, I think that's a successful challenge. They'll get that one. They will get that one. Challenge successful. Sits on top well and truly. Smart Guy says, I'm drinking D-Fizz Pepsi. Well, admittedly, it's got to be Pepsi Max. I don't remember what D-Fizz Pepsi tastes like. But, you're about to achieve a different, higher plane of existence. All right, Cleese sets it up. Lily, it did work. Nice change. You know who approves probably of that profile picture change? It would have to be none other than Broncos NRLW winger Caitlin Irwin, who's not a rugby union player. She's a rugby league player. Campbell hitting it up there. On the attack here, the Gold Coast Titans, they're on the 4th, about 20 meters out. Haas. Now with possession, back to find Randall, stepping around the middle of the field. Beats one, still going there. So this is going to be the last tackle of the set now. Campbell finds Cleese Haas, out to find Lachlan Ilias. Just that pass was a really poor option. Jesus, Lockie. I remember in the preseason trials, Lachlan Ilias had a game where about 3 or 4 times in the first half, he just picked the wrong option on the last. He hasn't played a lot of first grade since then. But my God, there. On the last, you go a short ball to a center who's got defenders all around him. What are you doing there? Get to your kick, son. Respectfully. Madsen says, Leaguie has sworn on his network and a few times on the Bloke Show. You can't lie about it either, because I downloaded the tapes of your appearances. I don't remember swearing on Bloke, but I must have. Ponga gets a pass away to find Hunt. Trying to beeline for the try line. Is he going to get there? He will. Eventually, as Kayla Ponga jumps on him and frankly dry humps him into the ground of McDonald Jones Stadium. Try time, Newcastle. That's making the rewind. He just jumped on him and went to town, respectfully. That was, wow. Cosmic Frogs. Profile picture is me in makeup. I love that. I didn't realize what you were saying before, but no, that's great. Matter says, when you're on a 4-hour show, you kind of forget some of the stuff you said. Yes, no, I'm sure. He does what to him? Watch the replay. Watch the replay once Fletcher Hunt grounds this. Look, I'm just commentating what I see here. Ponga jumps on him and starts dry humping him. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the rules. I would like to apologize on my monitor across here. Obviously, the webpage just hope it is NRLW Broncos player Caitlin Irwin, and I'm really sorry that she had to see that. But anyway. Lorenzo says, I'm so hungry. What should I eat? You should eat... Bronco... No, not going to go there. You should eat ravioli. It's been a while. It's been too long since I've had pasta. Wish Ponga would dry and then hyphen. My lawyer has advised me not to make that joke. I think that's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. Smart Guy says, who's your favorite band member of your Discord server? Chickawee 420. Or Smiles. Real ones remember Smiles. Kick out to the right-hand side. Sandon Smith misses. 10 points is the margin. And we can go back to the green background. You guys have really been changing the background color a lot today. You're like, wow, YouTuber wants to have his own branding? No, I'm not going to allow it. Smiles is a tough person who should be unbanned? Nah. I would have been open to maybe having him back, but the way he reacted when he was banned was crazy. You know, when I came into this stream today, I was like, oh god, this is going to be just survival for me. But I think I'm here. Yes, we're only like a quarter of the way through it, but I think I'm here. It's really more just the confronting reality of everything I have to do after this that's going to be the trouble. But anyway. Hasman says, Ponga's pre-match song was probably My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. Well, one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. Truly, just terrible. There is not a single redeeming feature about that song. Nothing about that song is in any way good. Not a single quality. You cannot name a quality of that song that's good. Not one. And yet, it's part of pop culture. So, there's a car. That's not part of the song. It's part of the music video. Campbell in the defensive line. As Sandon Smith puts it high up in the air. Keeney with a good catch there, about 50 out from his own try line. 29 minutes left to go in this game. Leaguie, at the end of this game, would you like to join me in watching random rubber ducks float around in a pool? I would like to. Unfortunately, I cannot, due to the incredible, overwhelming avalanche of things that I have to do after this game. Sharpley is on. Sharpley is on. You telling me that the Bodie Sharpley is making his NRL debut? Shout out Bodie Sharpley. You've got Sharpley on the field. There's some synergy there. There is some serious rugby league synergy there. 6 more there for the Gold Coast. Legman, I do more moderation on your server through LeaguieBot than you do sometimes. Yes, most certainly. I don't do very much at all. Even though I'm banned, which is why Chickawee 420 shouldn't be a favorite band member. Yes, but Chickawee 420, you see, is a little cutie patootie. You're a cutie patootie in your own right, in fairness. Bodie Sharpley is the most Gold Coaster name I've ever heard. Yeah, I think that does make sense. I think that does make sense. Beautiful short ball there from Tino. On for Beau Fermor. Good tackle low from, I think it was Winter, was it? Yes, it was. Randall. Out of dummy half. Still one more to go here in this set for the Gold Coast Titans. Now we're in the hands of Ilias. Puts it high up in the air. Marju will jump from the in goal. Do you think he's knocked it on, has he? Liam Kennedy was coaching the touch judge there, saying put your flag up. Yeah, I think it came off Marju, right? Yeah. Although, was it off to Groat first? Yeah, it was off to Groat first. Batson says, when I held you near, you were so sincere. Treat me like you did the night before. Penalty to the Knights. So you're telling me Bodie Sharpley is going to play 163 games of average first grade for the Dragons? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I think 163 might be overs for Bodie Sharpley. I don't want to dismiss him. I've never seen any of his play. But with a name like Bodie Sharpley, that is absolute peak 33 games for the Titans. Before then having a decent career for the Wakefield Trinity. How funny would it be if JC and Hectic Fred were NRL referees and missed 20 plus calls? Not very. I wouldn't feel redeemed whatsoever about that. So, by the way, any of you familiar with the content creator King DJ? And that would be DJ. I had a bit of a back and forth with him in his comment section yesterday. He posted a clip where he called Todd Smith words to the effect of "you effing blind dog," "you effing blind dog," for missing what he thought was a forward pass. And I was like, well, yeah, that's going to lead to better refereeing. Very productive. And he said, it's literally towards the end of the season. We're beyond the point of, please, sir, can you correct this egregious and heinous call? Heinous is a crazy word to use in 2026, by the way. But anyway. And I said, there's well and truly a middle point between what you said in the video and what you said there. And then I said, also, don't try using the fact that it's the end of the season to justify abuse, because it doesn't justify it. This video exists solely to abuse referee. Well, sorry, I said the quote. The quote is abuse, and this video exists solely to promote the abuse that you said. It's crazy. I don't like, for instance, right? So I made a reel, 2 reels actually this morning from my streams yesterday. One was a highlights package of the funniest moments. Another was also a very comedy-based reel. I couldn't possibly think of making a criticism of anyone, a player, a referee, a fan, a coach, making a statement of criticism and then just posting that on my social media, that 15-minute clip where I call them an effing blind dog. Why would I do that? That's such a negative thing to post. That's such a horrible thing to bring. That's such a horrible atmosphere to... Oh, wait. No, it's going to get the most engagement through ref bashing. Sorry. Yep, it makes a lot of sense now. My bad. All right. Ilias with it. Short ball there. AJ Brimson hits it up to the 20. Hasman says, you ain't nothing but a blind dog. Reffing all the time. I like that. That's very good. I like that a lot. That's very good stuff. I think that's been knocked on Knights. Yeah, so Titans will get it back here. They don't fin the engagement. I know. I just wish they'd admit it. But instead he has to disingenuously say that the only other option is to say, oh, please, sir, can you correct that call? And then try and say that the fact that it's towards the end of the season is justification. Money God says, why did I only notice in your referee video, not the debate, the latest video talking about the ref where you interview your ref? I noticed your channel logo, that it's a gradient green getting darker at the bottom. Is this new? It's like about a month old, so yeah, kind of new. One thing I noticed yesterday, and this really annoyed me. I'm going to talk about it after this, though, because they've just scored here. That's so soft. I love Curtis Morin. Good try. Really good passing close to the line, but that is so soft. This isn't good enough for Newcastle. What I noticed was, so this Leaguie logo, right, that's right there. It's a picture of a Leaguie logo on top of a picture of another Leaguie logo. And it was, what was it like? It was like that. For what must have been months, it was just slightly off. And yesterday I corrected it. Yeah, so it's over the other one completely. But it was slightly off balance, and that really annoyed me. So George Dragons Fair says, I can't change my profile pic for a week. I've changed it too many times. Great, so you're stuck on me going. I love that. Ilias with 2 tries yesterday. I mean, that was a really good pass. I criticized him earlier for that last tackle option, but that was a really good pass. Why is this a game? It's 7th versus 15th, because Newcastle are not showing up defensively. Although Kalen is making sure that they're having a look at this. No, okay. The try is confirmed. He's not pleased. And neither are the Newcastle faithful. To kick them within 4, the Gold Coast Titans. Could they come up with a unlikely victory? And if they do, it would likely be largely at the hands of Bodie Sharpley. And, of course, of Caitlin Irwin. That's a poor miss from Jaden Campbell. 6 points still the margin. That's a really bad miss. Yeah, you can see the call of obstruction. But I don't think he stops Curtis Moran there. What a kick. It was not good. It was not good. Knights can't even get winning right. I mean, they have done multiple times this season, but fact is, you can say Gold Coast have shown up, which they have, but sides in the finals are going to show up as well. And Newcastle are going to have to be playing substantially better sides than the Gold Coast Titans. What a run for Bodie Sharpley. Yeah, they're going to have to play and ideally beat sides that are a lot better than Gold Coast in only a few weeks' time. Likely away from home as well, potentially. At least in several games if they do advance. So, not good enough. Watson says, I'm sleepy. Is it worth staying up or should I nap with you in the background? You can nap with me in the background. I'm good ASMR. I'm just going to wait about 20 minutes so that you've drifted off to sleep, and then I'm going to go... Sorry for headphone wearers. Hey, Leaguie, can you pay for my Perth Bears membership? Sure. All I'll need you to do is transfer my bank account the value of a Perth Bears membership. That kicks out in the full. There's still a poo slinger. This ain't much of a slinger of poo. I didn't think this one was going to be a slinger of poo, though. I think the next game's going to be a slinger of poo. Nightmare blood rotation of Owen, Bodie, and Faith Minera. Well, just to clarify there, Danny, so why is Caitlin Owen not on that list? Yeah, sorry, I didn't give you a warning there. You've left Caitlin Owen out of your blood rotation there, and I'm wondering why. I'm sorry, I really should have given you a warning that time. How much money did you make from refereeing in total? For 5 years of doing it, I would have made about 40 Australian dollars. Daddy says I forgot to add my bad. Yeah, good, as you should. I've given you the benefit of the doubt there, buddy. Sanders Smith to find Kalen Ponga. Puts a kick in behind. And it's going to be Oliver Pascoe back to cover that one up. The fullback.
Hey, Leaguie,
The hooker turned fullback.
Money God 164 yet just redeemed changed the background color. I hate the Titans so red and blue the real ones.
Adama Ho has just scored for the Ipswich Jets. He's coming back from injury, right? That's why he's playing Q Cup rather than being dropped, because I'm quite the enthusiast of Adama Ho. But you did get a trip to Ukraine, though? I did. And well, it was a volunteer job, so, yeah. I love that you're stuck on that profile picture for George Dragons fan. How long do you have before you can change it? If Junior Rugby League existed in the Netherlands, would you have played? Yeah, probably. Gabe says, what's your Super League team? I think I like Catalan and Toulouse slightly more than the English club. Sharp is straight through. Takes on the fullback. Beats the fullback. Still going. He's beat 3 of them. And that is a massive dagger in the heart of the Gold Coast Titans. He loves it. Fletcher Sharp absolutely swamped there by his Newcastle Knights teammates. That was wonderful. That was wonderful work. WTF says people named Boyd are overrepresented in RL. Are we talking first name or are we talking last name? I'd say it's true for both, but I just want to establish the parameters of this discussion. Sharp backed up because he saw Ponga coming for the humpy. I think he did. That was wonderful. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. And that's just in the tackle bus. He then beat 3 further ankle tap attempts. Wonderful. Wonderful work. NRL Vid says you seem like the type of person to play Candy Crush. No. I ain't ever played it. Well, not even once in my life. And he absolutely bops it into the crowd as well. Loves it, Fletcher Sharp. He's one of these players who you just... He's so early in his career, but you couldn't picture him anywhere but Newcastle. You know what I mean? You just couldn't. That was so deep. It was mostly just because of the... Like, I did it right on the microphone when I recorded it. No. I will say... There's this thing that I saw. It was an Instagram reel. And it spoke about your actual voice. And I don't think this is true for everyone, but I realized it was certainly true for me. Where when I talk, I make an effort to talk. Whereas if I just relaxed all the muscles in my throat and just like kind of spoke more naturally, my voice is actually different. It's lower pitched. I'm just used to talking like this. And I'm not overly inclined to change it because I kind of like my voice. And I think it's nice that it's slightly higher pitch as well for my whole branding. But if I were to like relax all my muscles in my throat, my actual voice is this. This is the way that I would actually speak. Which is maybe in some respects a slightly nicer voice. I don't know. It's certainly more soothing. But I don't feel as intense. So I prefer to go with the other one, and also just naturally I prefer, I think, the other one. But maybe this is more like, you know, what you might expect from an actual 23-year-old male rather than the 12-year-old that talks like this. So, yeah. Benji, I've got to time you out for spamming, brother. You know, we've been over this, Benji. We've been over this, Benjamin. We've been over this, Benjamin. He's still going. And sorry, that's a big one. That's a big one because you know you can't do that. Holy spam, Batman. Yes, Panther fan. Yes, Panther fan. Absolutely. You sound like you're trying to seductively eat a microphone while looking at us. My hair is just... It's not doing... There's this little bit down here that's just been misbehaving today. Not best pleased. Yeah, that was some intense spam. What he said was Broncos will win the comp. Oh, it was just the word Broncos will win the comp again and again as well. So it was spam within each individual message. Send in 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. He got him. I think it's the only appropriate course of action at this point. One of the least inspiring graphics of all time was just put up on Fox League. West Tigers versus Dragons after this game. You're not excited about that, are you? Why would you be? I should have stopped that earlier. My bad. Sorry, boss. It's not good enough from you, Danny. Oh, Dominic Young knocks that one on. He was taken out afterwards, but it's going to be Titans ball. No? Double knock on. It's going to be Titans ball, though. Just a sec. Jack says, I have a similar situation when I use my vocal muscles I sound British, but when I relax I sound Australian. So people think I'm faking an accent either way. That's quite interesting. That is very interesting. Yep, not accepting that rage bait from you there, Tiger Walker. Money God says, my brothers are wanting to play Oztag. Should I ref Oztag or help coach your team? You should ref. Brimson takes him on. Oh, good tackle, Toby Winter. Very good tackle, Toby Winter. Sami. Let's find Campbell. If Gold Coast are going to mount a comeback, they'd love a try here. Get back to 26 points to 20. 6 more there as well they get. Spraying the ball out wide here. Keeney straight through. Again, another incredibly soft try, although it's going to go up as a no try, so that might be why. It was still a bad missed tackle, but there could be an obstruction here. I suspect that this is going to be a pretty open and shut case. Yeah, Morum does take out Fletcher Sharp. So that's why it was soft. Has he really just come in with a different account and spam? He's come in with a different account and spammed? That's not timeout, bro. That's hide user on this channel. That's ban. That's red line. Benji, what the hell? What are you doing, bruv? You're a, you know, somewhat noted member of this community. What are you doing? God, finished. Over.
Oh, what about that? Send him off! Send the dirty get off! Get him off the field! That was diabolical! That was absolute diabolical!
He came in, he wanted to spam again, and I just said, no, basically. Damn. Holy bannable offense, Batman. Basically, yes. Kent gets it off like there to find Mooney. Now on through Hotwood. Ponga just surrenders in that tackle there, so as not to give away anything worse. Crossland finds Sharp underneath Mooney. He's had a good season. A fundamentally solid season from Trey Mooney. Fundamentally solid season. Looking at the poll, 79% of you reckon it's Holbrook's Hunks who are going to beat Haney's Honeys. Probably about right. Probably about right. Change over here. So 13 minutes to go. Not quite desperation station for the Gold Coast Titans, but it's close. He's come back again. He's come back again. He's come back again. Benji the Spammer, he's come back again. You set him up. I'll keep banning them, bro. It's kind of funny, though. It's going to be responsible for about half of the accounts that are hidden on my channel. I actually think it's better than a ban, though. So, and this is what Google allows, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's not banning the user. They can still send messages, but they're hidden on the channel, so no one can see them. So there's a few accounts that I have like hidden before, but I don't know if they know that they're hidden. I like to think that they just come into live streams and they try and like send messages to rile me up, but they think that I'm just ignoring them, and then they get frustrated and leave. Because I honestly can't see them, and none of you guys can see them either. So, I wonder if he's gone off to make a new account again. Keeney's staying down here with a quite substantial injury. It was contact on his knee. Chan set to miss 2 weeks with a grade 3 tackle. Okay. I mean, it'll be in for finals. You got Tang Torpiki. So, yeah, it's something in the one. But, yeah, obviously not good. Catch there for Kalen Ponga. Gets tackled by Fotuaker. Gets tackled by Gets tackled by Ilias. Maju hitting it up now. Does take a tackle there. So, it's going to be Sandon in at dummy half. Passes to find Dominic Young now. What's the character limit on the on-screen chat? I don't know. Why don't you try and test it? Why don't you try and test it? Crossland to find Kent inside Trey Mooney. Will be tackled there. Play still alive. In the hands of Sanders Smith. Puts it up in the air. Tackled quite comprehensively after getting that ball away. Knocked back Keanu Keeney. Does manage to hold it, though, decently. And he's got a little bit of space here to work with Keanu. As he knocks it on. Crossland will get this ball. They reset. Give it to Kalen Ponga. He might come up with something. And what he comes up with is a slip and slide. Can we get a forearm reveal? I've had a forearm reveal before. I wore short sleeves in a video once. Not keen to do it again. It was very cold. It was very cold. Newcastle chain goes up there. Okay.
Smart guy Yay just redeemed changed the background color. The Broncos will win the comp in honor of him. I request maroon. Red square emoji.
There is some crazy athleticism happening here for the Newcastle Knights, so they get a try from it as well. That was offloading deluxe, and now this scoreline looks a bit more like what you would have expected from the Newcastle Knights in this game. Again, though, I will say, it's not going to go like this in finals for them, but that's enough for now. It's enough for now. I'm tired. We're locked in. We're not really locked in, but we're going to be locked in. It's fine. It's lock-in season. It's not really lock-in season. It's actually very much just try and survive until lockout season. One of the Bulldogs buildings at the con was so damn warm. The Comic Con? I had some friends that went. They didn't even know it was happening, but there was one here in Canberra. Okay. Can we... That's a bit much from you, Panther fan. A little bit much from you. Just chill on that, but I'll allow it for now. I'll allow it for now. It's a Sunday stream. No one cares. Lorenzo says, Leaguie, this is only the first game today. No, that's a fact that I am acutely aware of, and I'm even more aware that the second game is going to be just painful, so... I'm not loving the situation, but anyway. I'm not loving the situation. How are you allowing that? That should be 10 in the bin. I tend to give warnings. And I've been a little bit loosey-goosey today as well. So... Smart Guy says, I was going to go to that Jets game, but I woke up feeling unwell. I'm sorry to hear that. Try is confirmed. Sandon Smith to convert. 9 minutes left in this game. The Sandman to put them 18 points the good. Bangladesh beat Australia, sadly. Yeah, I saw that quite comprehensively. Hits it, and it's... Yeah. No, that was not really gonna... Not really gonna work. How old is the Sandman? Because there is well and truly a world where this year, the halves at the Roosters are Sam Walker and Sandon Smith. He's only 23. He's only 24 at the end of this year. Damn. I like him at Newcastle, though. I think it works. Sandon Smith kicking worse than Moses. I'd argue that he's also kicking worse than Broncos NRLW winger Caitlin Irwin, who I've never seen kick a goal before, but I'm going to assume that she can kick him. Good take there from Fletcher Hunt. Here we go. Such a shame, Benji. I kind of liked you, bro. And now I don't. Now I really don't. I think this is a fake. Oh, it might be. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Do you think he gets the memo? No, probably not. Probably not. Caitlin Owen's older than you? Correct. There's quite a number of people who are older than me. I'd argue most people are older than me. Sharp with a good offload there to find Sandon Smith. Now in the hands of Hopwood. Played here by Hopwood. Now in the hands of Sandon Smith. Puts it high up in the air. 8 minutes left in this game. Young's going to be underneath it. Has a bit of an impeded run to get there, to be honest. He's trying to come up with a strip, though. I think he's got it. No, and it's going to be a penalty. Going to be a penalty for holding in the tackle. Worth a go. Who's going to win Dally M? Nathan Cleary, I would think. I still don't know if Origin counts. The Benchy fall off needs to be studied. It does. It does. I liked Benchy. Excuse me. I like Stenchman. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to ignore the message to George Dragons fan. I think you know the answer. What are you experimenting with, Money God? What exactly are you experimenting with? Okay, there's not a bit. Good, that's enough then. We've decided. Thoughts on the Bolo pass? It was brilliant. Ponga with a bit of space. With a lot of space now. He doesn't have the legs to get there, unfortunately. Does get the pass away to Greg Marju. He might have the legs. Nice offload, Sandon Smith. It's going to come up to the Gold Coast Titans, unfortunately, there. That offload just bounced forward. Still alive here. This could be quite the play. So Jules Dragons fan says, I've been here 600 subscribers. Can I have mod, please? No, we've got enough mods. Again. We alright. We chillin'. I appreciate you being here for a long time. But we alright. Mod Benji's next. I think I will, actually. I think that'd be really funny. All right, on the fourth, Pascoe finds by. Now in the hands of Ilias, holds it up, and the pass is just out the back. It's going to be picked up here by Sharp. Has he got the legs? Has he got the Rugby League legs? My word, he has. My word, he has. If you've got him in Supercoach or Fantasy, you'll be happy because he's gone the length twice. I said at the start of the game, what has he done to his hair? Clearly, he derived his power from his flowing mullet. Clearly, I am not a
Noah of ball knowledge.
because he has killed it today, Fletcher Sharp. What a pickup, which is really difficult to do on the run. Gets away from Jojo Fafita, who is a quick man. Stands to the tackle twice. 2 ankle taps, he survives. And they rise for their cult hero, Fletcher Sharp. I'm going to time you out if you keep asking, George Jacobs fan. I've given you a very clear answer. Scratchy says, mod Scratchy, it will be funny. Wow, yeah. Wow, wow, that's a surprise that you'd want me to do that. You know the meme of Obama giving a medal to Obama? That's what that is. Kill Caitlin Irwin? What? That's a timeout. That you don't really understand what's going on here, do you, Scratchy? Respectfully to you. Come on, we have a certain affinity. Hello, Lily. Of course, I missed you. I didn't necessarily miss the notion of Robert Toy being the best center in the comp, though. 36 plays 14. That was a really, really good play from Fletcher Sharp. The scoreline, I think, will flatten Newcastle a bit. Obviously, a couple of length of the field efforts, but, you know, 4 minutes ago, they might put 40 on, and all of a sudden, we're like, wow, what a comprehensive victory. Kick there. Now, it's going to be Greg Marshall returning the ball. All good, Lorenzo. No worries. NRL Vid says Caitlin Irwin has nothing on Kennedy Charrington. Look, Kennedy Charrington, you know, definitely a GOAT as well, so I'm going to allow it. But, you know, I definitely disagree. Matt Russell says that this has whet the appetite for the game to come. No, it hasn't. There is no appetite for the game to come. None. At all. You know, I need to go to the shops, and I was like, yeah, I might just give you guys share content. I'll just go to the shops, bro. I'll head off. I don't think Twitch allows you to do that, but I could use the opportunity. Catch that from Filthy Phil Sami. 3.5 minutes left to go here. Ipswich Jets beat Logan 19-16. Wow, well that is completely revolutionary information. Okay, Tiger, no. Caitlin Turnbull is definitely not better than Caitlin Irwin. That's a 60-second timeout for you. I can time out someone for 1 second. That's pretty funny. Run from Mo Fotueka. Ilias. Keeney. Bit of a gap there that they created. Gets a nice offload away now to find Curtis Morin. Nice offload again for Fafita. Takes the tackle there. Campbell hits it up. Nice offload. Back to find Pascoe. Dummies goes through himself. Still standing here. Offload to Ilias. They've got numbers. Furmore is going to fend away and he'll get a try. It's a late consolation try. Newcastle are going to have conceded 20 points in this game. Defense wins premierships. It doesn't mean nothing. That was nice, but it was just Newcastle failing to wrap them up on so many occasions there. They made the tackle and just fell off. And I know it's the end of the game. But really, the number of... there was, I'm going to say, about 8 efforts there where a Newcastle player was involved in a tackle and just fell off and didn't complete it. Are you going to stream Cowboys Sharks NRLW 2? No. There was a temptation to, but given that I've done every NRL game this week and I've got so many things to do, more than I will be able to do after this stream, I really just can't. Danny says, can you time me out for 1 second? Yes, I can. I've timed you out for 1 second there. Kick from Jardin Campbell. He converts that one. Nope, not a Newcastle goal. Gold Coast goal. Some guy called the Leaguie invited me to collab on a video this morning. It's true, I did. I didn't necessarily know if you'd accept it. It was fine either way, but the whole Tanika Todd Hunter thing was based on your comments, so I thought, yeah, sure. Is your voice okay? Does it not sound okay? I have been commentating now for, well, let's think. It'll be about 15 hours this week at this point. So, I say this week, within the last 3 days. So, might be why, if there's a bit of deterioration, that will kind of explain it. But anyway, Reece Walsh season over? No! The female viewership of the game, it's gone!
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
Hello, I am not the Leaguie, nor am I on the run for violating Dom Young's restraining order. I am a Souths fan from Montenegro.
There's a hell of a lot going on there. The Unleague, that's a new one. That is a new one. Add that to the cinematic universe. Well, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you saying that. And making the account. Are they going to score again? Here they are. This is concerning. I'm concerned. Color me concerned. I know it's a couple of late consolation tries, but color me concerned. It's going to be 26 points conceded here. And you watch this press conference. Justin Holbrook is not going to be happy. Justin Holbrook is not going to be happy. You don't win finals games 36 points to 26. On NRL Fantasy, Fletcher Sharp is the only Knights player with the red V Newcastle jersey. Yes, he wasn't there for the photo shoot at the start of the year. Neither was Sam Walker for the Roosters, and I think Isabel Kelly for the Roosters at the same time. So Campbell hits that one, 36-26. Very high scoring stuff. High grade syndesmosis injury for Walsh. So when we say season over, is it also World Cup over? Lily says, can you time out for 1 sec? Yes, I can. It's funny, I can't do it through YouTube, but I can do it through my own software. I've just signed you out then. Likely World Cup over, okay. Because again, I do absolutely think that Kevy Walters would have picked him. So, if you're picking Walsh in the World Cup this year, you are delusional. I agree. Again, I think Kevy Walters would have picked him. If it was any other coach, I don't think he'd get picked. But I absolutely think he would have been picked by Kevy Walters. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's not an option for me, smart guy. I can't do it that specifically. All right. Fotueka now. Out to find Ilias. Now Fafita. Takes a tackle there. You've been timed up by someone. Wasn't by me, though. Might be Teddy time for Australia. I think it might be. I think if Roosters get the premiership, it might be. To me, I probably... Let's say it's Roosters-Panthers grand final. I think whichever fullback wins that game could get the spot. We have seen, though, both of them picked and then Edwards played on the wing before. So... Ilias holds it up. Campbell does eventually get an offload away. Potentially taken before the catch there, Keeney? No. Anyway, there's 10 seconds to go. They're going to put in a challenge here late, the Titans. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, I thought he was tackled without the ball here. Leaguie, can you do a watch-along for live Triple C v Tamil Union CNAC Major Club T20 Tournament 2026?
No.
So the Unleaguie's profile picture is me with a fake moustache. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, he's absolutely tackled without the ball there. I can take the 2. Points differential. Challenge successful. Not that it really matters. But anyway. They're just going to try and come up with one little play. Yeah, they'll kick for touch. They're 20 out. 1 play left in the game. Campbell. Across to find Ilias, who put boot to ball. It's off the side of the boot. It's not really where you wanted to land at. And Hunt comes up with it. He's going to try pity the ears back here. Gets it up to the 40. That's the game. That is the game of rugby league football done and dusted. Well, 1 game done today. 1 more to go. Frankly, I would not blame you if you left now, because this next game, I'll tell you what, it's going to be one for the purists. It's not going to be one for anyone that has a single fiber of, like, taste. See, I'm professionally bound to be here. You are not, and so I would highly recommend doing anything else. However, I appreciate you being here anyway. I'm going to set up the stuff for the next stream. I'll play you out with the winning theme song, which is an absolute banger of a theme song, by the way, Newcastle Knights. I'll see you in a sec.